Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for every single person in this room. I am so thankful for them, for all of the students, for all of the audience members who came to support the students and show them that they are just doing an amazing job. Lord, I pray over everybody's nerves tonight. I pray that hands would stop shaking and sweating and that hearts would stop thumping, because there's really nothing to be afraid of. Everybody here is here to support us, and they're not going to judge us. Lord, I pray blessings over this group, and I pray that everybody just have a fun and a really great time. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, so please unmute me. Are we back on? Hello? Awesome. All right, so our first student is Ricky. Now, Ricky has literally, when I say first student, he's not just the first one playing tonight, but he was my first ever student. So Ricky has been playing for the full 6 years that I've been teaching. He's one of the highest level students, and today he has a song that he's composed to play for you, which I'm very excited about. So he wanted me to just tell you a little bit about this piece that he's composed. I think it's really neat. So when Ricky plays piano, for every note, he says that he sees a color in his head. So he's composed this piece not based on the sound alone, but he's composed it based on the colors and how they go together. So up here he has a painting that he's done that represents this piece. It starts where it says begin, and it ends where it says end, and you just follow the columns. And he said the colors represent the notes, and then the little white drawings are representative of the patterns. So without further ado, Ricky.
All right, next up we have my one student, Courtney Moore. She's in band and she's learning a whole lot of instruments right now, including ukulele, which I'm helping her with. And yeah, and piano. Every lesson I do half boring, the stuff you have to learn, you don't really want to though. And then the other half I do more fun stuff, but each time she's eager to learn everything, surprising to me. And she always exceeds my expectations. And I taught her how to play Rainbow Connection by the Muppets, which helped her learn a lot of the song, a lot of the chorus she's about to play in this next song. So she's going to play Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
I started teaching guitar about 6 months ago. Just doing it with 18s.
Great job. Up next we have Matthew, who just started a couple months ago, but still wanted to play a song in the recital. So I'm like, okay, you can do that. And now maybe he's regretting it, but I'm excited for him. A little bit about Matthew. This he is awesome, okay? So he always asks like the huge, big questions, and I'm like, I might have to get back to you on that, because he really likes the theory, and when I was going through piano, I did not like the theory. But it's really cool to see how he finds the patterns and the notes and the chords and all of that for the songs. And something that I just find funny is that when something comes naturally to him, when something's easy, he always asks me if he's cheating. And I'm like, you're not cheating, it's okay. Like, things can be easy for you. And I'm very glad that things are easy for him. Although you do have your fair share of challenges, I will admit, but you're doing a great job. And Eva really impressed me at her first lesson. I'm not her first piano teacher, so I can't take credit for her skills, but I'm very, very excited to be a part of her piano journey now. And one thing that surprised me was not only her talent, her ability to play, but she is very self-disciplined and dedicated and motivated for her age. You're 6, right, Eva? She is 6 years old. That was the other thing. I did want to mention one thing. In our lessons, the thing we look forward to the most every week, and I hope she would agree with me, the Disney songs. We love playing our Disney songs. So without further ado, here's Eva. next up we have Megan. And the song that she's playing tonight is actually like 2 levels up from where she is. She's worked really, really hard. We started a little bit early on this song, and she has it nailed now. So I can't wait to hear her play it. But that's the thing about Megan, is that she's always, always, always up for a challenge. She always wants to play the harder piece. She always wants to play more songs. As a matter of fact, when we first started her lessons, I think she was around 5 years old, and she would always ask me for more to play, and I'd be like, are you sure? You sure you want to play more? Because you have to practice more too if you play more. And she'd come back the next week, totally nailed all of them. So she's always been willing to work hard to accomplish her goals. All right, great job. So next up we have Elsie. And I'm so super proud of Elsie because sometimes piano can be frustrating, but Elsie always pushes through, and she always learns that next song, and she always, I hope, has fun doing it, even though it's frustrating sometimes. Another thing that's fun about Elsie's lessons is Elsie is a singer. She likes to sing while she plays. So we just kind of jam out together during our piano lessons. While she's playing, we're both singing, and it is just so much fun. All right. Up next, we have Danny. And this little guy, I will tell you, he can read sheet music. And he is a very independent player because, you know, we start into a new song, we break it down, and I start pointing to notes, and he goes, I don't need you to point to the notes, I can read sheet music. So I'm very proud of him for that. And he's always ready to surprise me too, by sitting down and playing a new song that I haven't helped him with. So like one time he came in and he played Baby Shark all the way through for me. And he had learned it all by himself. And I am just so proud of that he's willing to go that extra step to learn songs like that by himself. Up next, we have Julian. And I just want to say, this guy, he's exceptional at reading sheet music. He surprises me every single week. He has a way of he looks at the music and he sees every single part to a song. Like he sees the dynamics, like how loud and soft to play it, and he sees how fast to play it, and he sees all of the notes and what letters to play and how long to hold them, and like all at once. And I can't even do that. I always end up forgetting something when I get up there. So it's really cool, his ability to read sheet music, and I don't think he realizes that he can do it, but he can. So that's just really awesome. All right, up next we have Noah, and I just want to say about Noah, his sight reading has greatly improved over this past year. Sight reading is when you take a piece of music and you just play it without any practice. You can just kind of see the way the notes are going, and you just do it. And he's really, really good at that. He likes to check and make sure he's right a lot. He likes to just look at me, and I always have to say, nope, look at your music, so you can follow the notes. But it's really cool that he likes to know that I'm there and I'm always going to be supporting you, okay? I'm always going to be here for you, and you can just keep your eyes on that music, and I'll be here behind you. All right, next up we have Elizabeth. And this little girl, she just got into sheet music. Like, she just started reading the notes. And I'm so proud of her because she's able to recognize them now. And I can give her a piece of sheet music and she can read it. And it's so exciting to her, I think, to finally be able to do that on her own and kind of have gained that independence a little bit. And so I look forward to a lot more lessons where we keep learning more notes. Up next we have Eva, who just informed me that she got this as she's walking up to the piano. So I'm glad she has that confidence. That's really good. And it's been really fun watching Eva learn and grow over the past few years. She's become quite the performer. She's already played this song and another song at 2 nursing homes this year. I think it's 2, right? 2, yeah. And she's playing it again tomorrow at church. I told her, now you can tell people you're booked all weekend.
Wesley. It's Wesley. They're going to be playing Jingle Bells together. So, yeah, the brother and sisters.
2 levels this year. Typically takes a year to get through a level, and she's gone through 2 of them. And like, we didn't even realize we were doing it. I was just like, wait a second. What? What happened? It just flew by. We were just having too much fun, I think. But Michelle's another one who just always challenges herself. She always picks a song for the recital that's like way above her level, way out of her comfort zone. And I think it's really awesome that she does that. And she just pushes herself out there, and she always does a great job. Thank you. Very good, both of you. I'm so proud of both of you. It's hard to play a duet. All right, so next up we have Abigail, and this one's another performer. She loves to play at her homeschool co-op, at her church, and like, she just comes into lessons and goes, "Oh, I played at my church this week." I'm like, "Oh, really? Thanks." She's just very independent in that way, and very confident in her skills, and that is so, so awesome. She's also a great big sister to Noah and Elsie, who played earlier, and a very big encouragement to them, I think. Great job. Who is also just now getting into reading sheet music. So it's really cool to see her progress from playing by just looking at what fingers to play to actually looking at the music, recognizing the notes, and then playing them, which is really, really cool. And she's also recently discovered that she can play by ear. So she'll come up to me with songs that she's figured out. Like she figured out the Harry Potter song, Hedwig's theme, all by herself, which is really cool when she came up and showed me that. we have Cadence, and I just want to take us back to her first lesson real quick, because she walked in and she was so excited to get started with the piano. And that made me really excited as a teacher, but it made me excited for another reason, because that's how I was during my first lesson. And she just reminded me a lot of me during my first lesson. And I think she loves the piano just as much as I do, so it's cool that we share that love and that passion for piano. Next up, we have Jet, who also loves to perform, and I mean like loves it. He just sitting here asked me, when's the next recital? So I'm so happy that he's in his element right now. He's really enjoying this. And he's another one who just like really knows his notes. He's a very independent reader. He looks at the note on the page, and he plays it on the piano, doing a very good job. Up next is Riley. And Riley's been getting into some pretty tricky stuff lately, but she always pushes through. She practices and practices and practices until she gets it. And that is like one of the most important things to understand when you're learning piano is you're not going to get it the first time, but you just got to keep practicing and eventually you'll be able to do it, right? Yep. Oh, and another thing. we have Addison, also always ready to move on to the next song, to discover what's next with piano. She loves learning, and that's another just a great thing to do. I don't know what I'm saying. To be able to do when you're learning piano is to say, all right, I'm ready for the next thing, because with piano there's always something new, right? We always end up running out of time in our lessons because we are working on so much. And I just think that's so awesome. And I'm very, very honored to not only call Addison a student, but I think we've developed a friendship over this past year as well.
There's a difference between piano theory and guitar theory, but when you put them together, it's like a light bulb goes in her head, and she's like, "Oh yeah," because I'm used to music by ear and playing by ear, and she's used to music notation, and so there's a difference of that. We've gone off of each other when teaching, guitar and stuff. Of course, at home I have a studio, recording studio at home, and I, use a lot of that stuff in it. And so I've been doing sound engineering and playing guitar and recording and all that, and got on with her and started, teaching guitar with her now. Hannah's not only my friend, she's my cousin. So it's really an honor to be teaching her piano and just sharing with her one of my passions. And so since she's my cousin, we've known each other a pretty long time. And
like all these years that I've known her, I haven't really like ever heard her sing or play an instrument or anything like that. She sang with me in church one time and I was like, girl, you can sing. And then she started piano and I'm like, Hannah, you have musical talent. Like, why haven't you been doing anything with it? So it's been really fun working with you on this, and I'm really, really proud of you for chasing one of your dreams. Up next we have Jerry, and I am so glad. Something clicked in Jerry this year, and he figured out that practicing helps, right? And I am so proud of him for figuring that out. But he's really doing a great job. And he always makes me laugh during our lessons. He always brings a joke or a meme. I'm learning what those are. And or something about Fortnite. I know a lot about Fortnite and Minecraft now because of this dude. So we're kind of like, we're teaching each other as we go along, and we're just having a great time. When he started, two of his siblings were taking lessons, and so it kind of just started him too. And then we realized that Nick has a talent for music. He can play music very, very well, and he loves the fantasy genre of playing. He plays a lot of songs from video games. I couldn't tell you what those are, but he could if you ask him. But he kind of introduced me to that genre of music. I hadn't really ever explored it before, and I really, really like that genre of music. So thank you, Nick, for introducing me to that. You're doing great. learned so much from each other just by me going to guitar lessons and him hanging around the studio. Well, I guess you're not hanging, you're working, but you know, you know what I mean. And it just has been really cool to see the difference between the instruments, but also the similarities. Because he plays, I think, a little bit of piano, and I play a little bit of guitar, thanks to him. And it's just really cool to see the similarities and learn from each other, and I've been having fun.